Hello everyone, I greet you in the name of God Almighty. My name is Apostle Newton Silas and I'm here with Nancy Grace. And today we have a very good, interesting topic to discuss with you today, which says that a Catholic sister asks Yosuf Estes why he accepts Islam. Whoa, that's a very interesting question. I believe that this video will really inspire a lot of people. Of course, I have actually reacted to Yosuf Estes, and then I see him talking, and his videos are very, very touching and very emotional one, knowing fully well that he was an American pastor. He was actually a preacher, and all of a sudden he converted to Islam. So I would like to just listen to him to really hear some of the things that inspired him to make that decision. So guys, if today happens to be the first time of you checking out my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So guys, before we get down to the video, I'm a theologian and I make this video not to discredit anyone's religion. This is basically for educational purposes. So guys, let's get down to the video.
Sister, thank you for waiting. Would you please state your name and occupation, then state your question?
I'm Sakina D'Souza, and I'm a Catholic. I believe Brother Yosuf was a Catholic before. I would like to ask him the simple question. He was brought up like a Catholic, but what made him change? Doesn't he believe that the Messiah is true, or did he ever feel that the religion, Catholic religion, has not brought up any Messiah and the Bible is false? I would like to just know what that means, because he said he was a Catholic before and now he has become a Muslim. What made you change? What was that storyline before? Doesn't he believe that there is a Messiah, or the Messiah had come, saved us, died on the cross?
Thank you very much for a good question. I hate to disappoint you, but I wasn't a Catholic. But I was with a Catholic priest the night that he accepted Islam. And I asked him these questions you asked me. Because after all, I was still a Christian, a preacher in Christianity, and I wanted to know why my best friend, a Catholic priest, had converted. That's a pretty weird thing. A Catholic priest is not like a regular preacher in the Protestant religion. A Catholic priest has given up everything. He's given up his life to be a Catholic priest. When he enters into this realm, he's basically given away everything. He can't have a wife, he can't have children, obviously no grandchildren. He has no home, he just lives in a rectory or wherever they give him a place to stay. And he's sent wherever they tell him to go, do whatever he's told to do, and that's it. And he cannot disobey the Pope, otherwise they can kick him out of the religion, and if they do, he's excommunicated and he goes to hell forever. So how would a person like this want to become one of those Muslim terrorists? That's what I wanted to know. He explained in a very few beautiful words something that I came to learn for myself. He said that he was sincerely in the Catholic religion because he believed in God, that he had studied, his degree was in theology, and a part of the teaching that they as priests have is to study Islam. Every priest is forced to study Islam. Now you may not know that, but you can ask your priest and he'll confirm it. And when you study Islam, even when Islam is taught to you by somebody who hates Islam, as long as they don't corrupt it too far, you can still see the truth in Islam. A classical example happened to me just recently when I was in Saudi Arabia. A friend of mine, very old copy of one of the first Qurans ever translated to English by George Sale. George Sale hated Islam, he hated the Muslims, but when he translated the Quran to English, he was true to the text of the words. Although maybe not getting all the meaning, he certainly was true to the text of the words. I was shocked when I read it. Have you seen it? You know what I'm talking about? Amazing. And listen to this. George Bernard Shaw, for instance, is one of many, a long list of people who read this and realize the truth of Islam. When people see the truth of Islam, it can change them if they want to be guided. If they want the truth, it can change them. You might think, I'm a Catholic, I'll never be anything but a Catholic. But I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to be honest. This is not for you to, start a debate, but just be honest. Was Jesus a Catholic? And it's not open to debate, so there's no point in opening that up, because you know and I know he wasn't. The Catholic Church was in business about 300 years before Jesus was born. It's on their website. Don't go like this. It's on their website. That's where I took it from. The Catholic Church was really started in Rome by Alexander the Great. Do you know what the word Catholic means? It means universal. It was the universal church for the Roman Empire. If you didn't join it, you could not be a Roman citizen. And it was opposed to the teachings of Judaism and opposed to the teachings of the early Christians for more than 200 and some years. And they were diametrically opposed to each other to the extent that it was the Romans killing the early Christians. Now, if you understand that and you go to their website and read, they didn't even take over Christianity until the year 325 AD. And when they did, they changed a lot of things, again, referring to their own website. But if you want to check it in Britannica or Americana or Grolier encyclopedias, go ahead and read about the Catholic Church. When, in August of 325 AD, at the Nicaea Council, they took over, first thing they said was, let's change the date of the birth of Jesus to be the same date as that of Mithras, which was the god, one of the gods worshipped there, and also the sun god's birthday was the same day, December the 25th, believing it to be the shortest day of the year. And Constantine was a sun worshiper of Sol Invictus. Go to the website, read it for yourself. There are a lot of points, but not the least of which, even today, if you go in any Catholic church, and I have, you'll see so many portraits and statues and idols and images throughout the whole place, that for the one who's never experienced that, for a Muslim who knows about these images, he'll be like, whoa, a'udhu billah. Whoa, what's this? The first time I walked in a Catholic church, I was about 10 years old. I was shocked. I was shocked at the idols and statues everywhere, because in the Protestant religion, we were brought up to believe that the second commandment was just as important as the first commandment. The first commandment in the Bible, in Exodus, is the same as the first commandment in the book of Deuteronomy. It says, I am the Lord your God that brought you out of the land of Egypt in the house of bondage. You know no other God beside me. Beside me there's no other gods. Thou shalt not have any other gods beside me. How many in this room agree with that commandment? Raise your hand. You notice the Muslims are raising their hand because it means Ashhadu la ilaha illallah. That's the first commandment for us as well. The second commandment you have clearly says, thou shalt not make any idol, any graven image of anything that creeps upon the earth, swims in the sea beneath, or flies in the air above. And I was sitting in a church one time, sitting there in the morning service, watching, the preacher talk, and, they go on and on and on, and sometimes you lose your train of thought. I was looking. Whoa! On the front of the podium, there was a fish. A fish. For the symbol, make you fishers of men. It had a fish. I said, whoa. Then I looked up above his head at the big stained glass window, and it had a dove, and he had the olive branch in his mouth. The dove is flying, the bird, I said, whoa. And then I look over here, and there's a cross with a man hanging on it. I said, wow, they didn't miss a single one. They got them all. Something walking on the earth, something swimming in the sea beneath, something flying in the air above. So look at these two things. Clearly, the first two of the 10 commandments, bang, bang, boom. Because if you said God is more than one, where did you get it from? When Jesus is talking to his own companions and they ask him, what's the greatest commandment? Mark 12:29. Clear. The greatest commandment is to know, O Israel, the Lord your God is one God. And you have to love him with all your heart and all your mind and all your strength. And this is no different from what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was saying the same thing to his people. Same thing I mentioned in the lecture. This is certainly for us the same. So what you see is Muslims practicing the commandments, and you see people claiming the commandments but practicing something else. And I have seen more converts from the Catholic Church than any other of the many sects of Christianity, and especially from the nuns, priests, and even an archbishop. And all of them are better than me. Those guys and women that I see do this, they still sacrifice their whole life to get the true message of Islam, not only to you, but to Muslims as well, because we all need to know about it. But thanks for a great question.
This is a very good question. Actually, I have had a personal encounter with this. Of course, let me share this today on my YouTube channel. I kind of have a friend, you know, his name is Muhammad. And then Muhammad Touret, the guy was just a very generous person. So I have been going to him, go to his house, even though being a Christian and all that. And this happened during my university days. Go to his place, we eat. After that, he will go and pray and all that. And make him to understand that I think I love the way he practiced this, his Islam, the way he never misses prayers, the way he's very generous, very good in giving and all that. So I was like, this is very, very good thing. And I make him to understand that one day I would love to study Islam, to understand what Islam is all about. And he was like, oh, there's no problem. It's a very good thing for me to study Islam. And I asked him, I says that, can I study an Islam and still remain as a Christian? Then he made me to understand that there's no problem, but then he will go and make inquiry in the Islamic school to see if they could allow me. Though very unfortunate, they didn't allow me though. Then there's a reasons why I was asking that I want to study Islam. It wasn't basically because I wanted to become Islam, but because when I went to school of theology and then they teach us Islam. They teach us Islam, the spread of Islam, the works of Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, some of the things he do while here on earth before he died. So I wanted to know more. I wanted to kind of tend to understand, because when you look at it this way, if someone who is not a Muslim is teaching you Islam, you don't expect the person to kind of teach you the way it's supposed to be. So at that point in time, even though there is some kind of contradiction, but then in me, I tend to reason and I says that, no, look, they says this religion is like this religion is a religion of terrorists, it's like this, they do this, they do that, so why can't I just find out and listen from it? So when I saw one of the courses I was doing in theology was Islam, I was very interested, so I put a lot of, I was just waiting the day we're going to have our first lectures in Islam, so that from there I can be able to, it will give me opportunity to learn what I wanted to learn. Even though the person was actually a pastor, so he does his best, do whatever, teach me whatever I needed to know. But you don't expect the person to teach like the way it's supposed to be, like I rightly say, because he was teaching with a lot of sentiment. And then from there, I kind of feel like maybe something might be wrong somewhere else. I think I need to kind of understand why the person see what he's saying. Maybe I don't have to mention some of the things, but as Muslim, you should be able to understand what I am talking about, because different people, and a lot of them are actually on my channel, and then they are watching it. So that's why I would not like to mention their names and things like that, or the name of the school and all that. Yeah, so I would decide to keep it to myself. But then as Islam, you need to understand that when somebody begins to ask questions, he do face a lot of things, a lot of things will kind of happen. But then since I wanted to know, so I went on and on trying to learn the Islam on my own and all that. And that was the reason why I wanted to do it. They did not allow me to go and study the Islam. They said that I have to convert to Islam first before I can be able to. So I didn't have that opportunity to learn more, but rather I can only go to Muhammad, and then he'll be teaching me some few things about Islam. Islam is this, Islam is that, and all that. And that makes it very interesting. The reason being to read why I was saying it is because of the confession, or what Yosuf Estes was talking about the Catholic Church. Some of the things, it shows that it's very true that yes, as the commandment have actually stated that we shall not worship another God but except, you understand, the Almighty God. Of course, we all confess that. Of course, we all see that. But in the other way around, we end up worshiping other things and not obeying what the commandment of God have actually said. Because if you look at it, of course, if you ask the Catholic, they will tell you God is one. But then if you go there, you see so many images, so many things and all that. Of course, I've once gone to Catholic some couple of times. I've also gone to several kind of churches and all that. See their mode of worship, you see how they keep their images and all that. So those things kind of get me confused. And that is when I begin to ask questions, and then I was like, why is it that in the mosques, they do not have such images? Why is it that they don't draw, let's say for instance, Prophet Muhammad? Why is it that they don't do? I begin to start asking questions, and I got to realize, like, look, these people don't do the way it is. So that kind of start clouding my head, and I started thinking and all that. But anyway, let me post here. The video was just very interesting. I really loved what Yusuf actually said, his encounter, and then the way he began to ask questions, just like the way he was answering the lady, that he was with a priest, and then the priest abandoned everything and then he joined Islam. So that also got him thinking, and then from there he beginning to ask questions, and that resulted to him making that decision by saying that the Church of Catholic, for instance, was actually a Roman kind of a thing, and then for you, they would have been expected that those Romans are supposed to go there to worship. And then he went on to talk about how they are worshiping the God of the sun and all that, and the changing of the birth of Jesus Christ to 25th December, and a lot of things. Seriously, some of these things have actually been bothering a lot of Christians. Seriously, it bothers a lot of them. And then it was actually even today I got to realize that they were kind of fighting the early Christians. For those ones, you understand, I did not know, but then for the sake of this video, I got to know about this, and it makes it very interesting one. And then after this, I think I need to go and make more research about what actually happened during that time and why were they making such a decision. Of course, I will go back and then check that one out, and understand, later in the day. And I so much enjoyed this video. So guys, this is the end of our video. If you like our reaction, you should like, share and subscribe, and I'm going to see you in the next video. So guys, remain blessed.